Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for joining this live stream. And today we're going to be talking about how you can motivate yourself to learn to speak English confidently. Okay, a lot of you want to speak English confidently. It is a skill that you can learn, you can improve your fluency, and we're going to talk about it, okay? Look, along your journey of learning to speak English confidently, you're going to get stuck sometimes, okay? You're going to get angry. You're going to feel disappointed, not happy with your progress. That is completely normal, okay? We're going to be talking about these situations when you feel stuck or unmotivated to practice. I'll share with you some real ways to help you stay motivated to keep learning so that you can speak confidently and fluently. Okay, no pressure, no perfection, just progress. Okay, and doing the daily work. Now, if you're joining this training session, thank you. Please make sure to like and also tell me, join the chat. Tell me in the live chat or in the comments below, what is your biggest problem staying consistent? Okay. Uh, in my previous live sessions, I always talk about consistent daily practice and speaking to yourself nicely. Instead of saying, I can't speak English, say, I can't speak yet. Tell me, what is your biggest problem doing the daily work for 5 minutes a day? What's stopping you today from doing the work? Is it, are you too busy? Do you not have time? What's your excuse, okay, for not doing the work today? Now, motivation is really hard, okay? It's hard to stay motivated to do anything in life, okay? Realistically, if you finished university, you know how much you had to study and how much work you had to do to finish uni. If you got a job, you know how much you have to, if you're going to work, it's not easy going to work, right? You have to go there, you have to think, you have to actually do the work. It can be challenging at times. If you're, the sun's coming out, it's quite early today. I looked really pale before. Now it's better. Anyway, it's winter where I am, a lot of fog, mist, and it's just beautiful, 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 beautiful. Anyway, okay, sorry, that was just off topic. But when you are learning, when you are doing something, okay, be that working, be that training, be that losing weight, it can be really, really hard to stay motivated, to be consistent, and to develop discipline, okay, to do the work. Let me use this analogy again of, we talked about it in our previous training session, that big mountain. And on top of that mountain, there's a pot of gold, okay? There's about 500 trillion, billion, trillion, jillion, make up words, dollars worth of gold up there, right? And, but there's 5,000 steps stopping you from getting that. Now, imagine yourself, you want, I know a lot of you watching this, if someone offered me that much amount of gold, I'd climb up that mountain. I don't know about you guys, because I know, look, I'm going to have to do some physical work, get up there, and to get this prize, this reward. Now, going up 5,000 steps is going to be really, really hard, right? These steps are really steep, okay? And imagine that I'm not in the best physical shape. So I'm going to have to take steps, use my muscles, going to be exhausted, and I'm probably going to stop. Okay. And I'm probably going to be like, why do I need this? It's so hard to get up this mountain to get this pot of gold. It's the same with learning English. Okay. Now, your motivation maybe isn't that pot of gold, but maybe it is to get a better job. Maybe it is to pass the IELTS exam, to move abroad, to meet new people, maybe to get married to an English speaker, maybe it is to meet English speaking friends, to network, to whatever your goal is, okay? You know what your goal is. But go back to the analogy of the mountain, right? That's 500 billion, jillion, trillion dollars worth of gold up on that mountain, right? It's a big goal. It's a big reward, okay? And many of you would take those steps to get that gold, right? You need to find something to help you stay motivated to learn to speak English confidently. You need to find a goal, create a goal for yourself like that so that you do the daily work. Okay. I would love to be able to hop onto this live stream and give you a magic pill and say, here, just take this and you're going to be able to speak fluently. Or just do this and it's going to happen like this. You're going to be able to speak fluently. Sorry, but it doesn't really work like that because remember that gold is on the top of the mountain and you still do need to do the work to take those steps, climb up that mountain to get that gold, just the same as learning English, okay? So we're going to have to, instead of using your leg and your physical muscles to speak English fluently, we need to train this muscle. But also, we need to change our mindset. I've talked a lot about this in previous live sessions, but your mind, you need to think of a really good reward. Okay. A lot of you forget about this reward, how your life will change when you speak confidently. Okay. You just perceive all the daily work as "Oh, it's just another test that like I had in primary school and high school, or it's just I just need to learn another grammar rule and I'll get it right. It doesn't work like that, guys, okay? You really do need to do the daily work, but also remember that end goal. And it can be really hard with speaking English confidently because most likely uh, a lot of you here are at an intermediate to an advanced level, right? You're professionals, you're busy, you have lives, you're probably working, and life is pushing you or you're pushing yourself for more opportunities, okay? And sometimes it can be hard, just like losing weight, climbing that mountain. If you have this reward inside and you remember why you're doing it, you can create that balance and you won't lose motivation. Now, that's the theory behind it. Let's talk about some practical steps that you could take. So if you are really struggling and you're getting discouraged, some things I'll touch base on these and then we'll talk about goal setting. One thing that you can do, I do suggest a lot, daily practice, active and passive learning. Active learning being writing and speaking. Speaking can be shadowing, talking in front of a mirror, or voice messaging people, or even speaking to real people. Whereas passive learning is more listening, reading, so listening podcasts, watching movies, this sort of thing. What else is it? Music is also great. Anything basically when you think of passive learning, something that you can do simultaneously. So, for example, driving, you can listen to a podcast. Driving, you can listen to music. Cooking, podcast, music. Something that you're not actually using your brain to produce the English language, okay? More that environment for yourself. Whereas active learning, you are using your brain to speak, okay? We need a balance between this, and I do suggest 5 minutes of daily active learning, okay? Active speaking, because you're watching this video, you want to speak confidently, active practice, okay? But when you're doing this, you're doing this for 7 days, 10 days, and you really can't see any progress. You're like, I'm still nervous when I have that meeting. I still get shy when I speak. I still make mistakes. I feel that they're getting better, but what's the point in doing it anymore? Okay. You're losing motivation. Look, every day you do 5 minutes of practice, it does help you in the long term. Okay. Celebrate those small wins, reward yourself for actually doing the daily work of 5 minutes. A lot of people don't do it. Okay. Realistically. And they don't speak fluently because they're not ready to do the active or the passive work. Okay. Understand this. Mm, understand that if you do it regularly, if you keep practicing, even if it's not perfect, that's okay. You did the work. Okay. Keep going. Even if you do make mistakes, keep going every day. Every day does not need to be perfect. Okay. During this session, I've made mistakes. It's part of life. You improve every day and it gets better. Okay. Learn to evaluate yourself. So when you are going through every single day, you do make a mistake. Tomorrow, go, okay, I made that mistake yesterday. I'm going to try not to make that mistake. But if I do make it, such is, I'll try better tomorrow. Okay. Also, you may be losing motivation because you're comparing yourself to others. You're comparing yourself to how I speak. Dude, I'm a native English speaker. I grew up in Australia. I went to primary, high school, uni in Australia. I spoke English all the time. You can't compare yourself to me, okay? Or to anyone. It doesn't even matter me. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself yesterday and today, or a minute ago, okay? If you are creating this complex in your mind that, okay, but she speaks like this, he speaks like this, they say this so much more better. Like, okay, today I said it like this, tomorrow I'll say it a little bit better. Okay. Only compare yourself and your progress, your path to speaking confidently and fluently, not somebody else's. You can take inspiration from somebody else. So if you are watching this video, I hope it inspires you to do the work. I hope you maybe pay attention to my tone, intonation, to the mistakes, how I overcome these mistakes, how you can do this too, how you can incorporate some of my communication skills in your everyday spoken English. Okay. I thank you, stranger, for the lovely comment and for joining this session. Stranger, what's your biggest problem staying motivated speaking English? Tell me in the chat. Okay. Also, I have talked a lot about this, is that you need to adapt a growth mindset. I've talked about this a lot on my channel. Basically, if you always think that I can't, I won't, what's the point, etc., you won't improve. Adapt a growth mindset. I can, I'll do the work. It's 5 minutes. What's stopping me from doing it 5 minutes a day? I can do it when I'm on the toilet, for heaven's sake. A lot of people scroll on their phones on the toilet, do some shadowing, do it while I'm having a shower, speaking to myself about the day, while I'm brushing my teeth, while I'm cooking, while I'm driving, etc. Okay? Be creative with your 5 minutes. You have 24 hours in a day. I don't know how many minutes, a lot of minutes, but you can do it. Okay? Seek feedback, get feedback from other people in communication, understand, pay attention if they can understand you, if they can't understand you. Record yourself, give yourself feedback if you can understand yourself, because if you can't understand yourself, how's anyone going to be able to understand you? And just trust the process, okay? Do the work. Have faith that if you do the 5 minutes a day, it will work, okay? Have faith with a growth mindset that you can, that you're ready and you do the work. You will develop faith, but you do need to be consistent. Okay, but still, this is all great, but if you haven't created that pot of gold on the top of the mountain, that really big goal that you want, it's going to be hard, okay? Uh, let's create that goal together now. Now, you want to think about your goal of speaking English confidently and fluently. You want to create a goal. Now, you may have seen SMART goals. A lot of English teachers talk about it. You'll see, do a YouTube search if you want. I'll talk about it now as well. The importance of SMART goals. SMART goals, basically SMART is an acronym, and it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. It's a really simple but a really powerful system that helps you set goals that you can actually achieve. Okay. So, like if I set a goal for myself now, I don't know, let's say I want to earn 1,000 million trillion dollars today. Okay, let's say something like this. Or is that really realistic? Like it's it's really, it could be, but I know I know what I'm doing today. For me, that's not realistic. Or today I want to run a marathon. That's not really realistic because I'm not preparing myself for it. Okay. It will be more realistic, for example, for me to say, today I want to earn $10. Today I want to run 1 kilometer. or I want to lose 20 kilos today, for example. It wouldn't be realistic for me to say, okay, today I'm going to lose 20 kilos, right? Maybe today I want to lose 200 grams or 100 grams, something like this. Be realistic with yourself, okay? We'll talk about it now in detail how you can do this. But when you're creating goals for learning to speak English confidently to help you stay motivated, uh, you need to be realistic, okay? So, the first acronym specific. When you're thinking about your goal, you need to be clear about what you want to improve, okay? A lot of students, I hear they say, I want to get better in English, I want to speak, I wanted this, but what exactly do you want to get better at? Okay, is it speaking? Is it your use of grammar and spoken English? Your use of vocabulary, pronunciation, your confidence? Do you want to sound better? What do you exactly want? I can't tell you what you want. Okay, you need to know what you want. Think about it. Do some homework. Get a pen and paper. And write about it. So, for example, instead of saying, I want to speak better English, say, I want to be able to introduce myself confidently to people, to talk about my hobbies, to talk about my background in English. Okay? Notice here, this is clear. You know exactly what you want to focus on. So it's just not speak better, like speak about what, with who, like at work. You'll notice me saying my trainings, think about it. Is it for work? Is it for this or for that? I'm just guessing, but you know, okay? With this goal, for example, I want to be able to introduce myself confidently and talk to people about my hobbies, my interests. Here, so as part of your 5-minute routine, you're going to be introducing yourself. Hey there, my name's Adriana. I come from Australia. At the moment, I live in Europe, blah, blah, blah. And practice this every single day, 30 days, 5 minutes. Okay, it's really, really simple and it is doable. Okay, here, this is clear and you know what to focus on. So you know that you're going to be focusing on introducing yourself and you know what that success will feel like. Now, you could even like break this down a little bit more, like, I'll try to use 10 new phrases to introduce myself. I'm going to look up mm, on YouTube, watch people, how they introduce themselves, learn some skills as part of your passive learning. Or I'm going to record myself every single day to give myself feedback how I do this. Okay, think about when you do this, it's very specific, and think about create a plan. What are you going to do in these 5 minutes? You could watch something, you could speak, you could shadow, you could practice in front of a mirror. You need to do the work and to think about this. Now, your goal also needs to be measurable. How are you going to track your progress? Look, if you can't measure your goal, you're not going to see progress. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be motivated to do the work. It's simple. You lose motivation. For example, that's why I always tell you I'll practice speaking for 5 minutes a day. I will try to learn new words for 7 minutes a day. Okay. Create a list. Now, if you write this down, a to-do list, and you say, okay, today is Thursday. Today I'm going to stand in front of a mirror and talk to myself 5 minutes, introduce myself in English. When you do it, cross it off. Or today I'm going to watch a YouTube video, someone speaking in English, introducing themselves to learn some skills. Cross it off. Okay. You don't need to do one or the other. This is an example, but I'm sure if your goal is really to introduce yourself better to people, you're going to want to learn how. And really, if this is what you want to do, you will be motivated to learn something and to do the work because it's only 5 minutes of speaking in front of a mirror. It's not that hard. Create a list, tick it off, and you'll be motivated. Okay. It this by creating a measurable goal, it gives you something concrete to aim for every day. Okay. So it's something that you can do every day. Your goal also needs to be achievable. So keep it realistic. Look, I did touch base on this in when I began this topic about SMART goals, so losing 20 kilos in one day. It's not realistic. Uh, some setting a goal like I'm going to speak fluently in 30 days, in 60 days, it's not going to work. Look, SMART goals, they are there to help you start small and to build, to grow over time. Okay. So a lot of you like cram studying, okay, studying for hours. I don't suggest memorizing lists, cramming for hours as a way to go. Instead, you could say, I will, instead of saying, I will study for 3 hours today or watch a movie every day. I don't know about you guys. I work, I have kids, by the time I cook, clean, do something nice. I don't really want to be I personally fall asleep when I watch a movie, okay? I don't watch TV. Can't I don't even know how to turn on the TV channels. Like, I have Netflix and YouTube, so I do spend my free time, I try to move away from a screen because I do work on a computer, and if I am watching a movie, I fall asleep. I've fallen asleep in national theaters in its movies. It's just, I don't know, it's not realistic for me to learn through movies, okay? Because I generally fall asleep. I'm not saying that they're boring, it's just I'm so tired, okay? And if you're like me, you fall asleep, don't make it a habit to watch, I don't know, a movie every day with subtitles, but maybe you could set something else like, "I'll read for 3 minutes a day," or I'll watch a YouTube video for 2 minutes a day. I will speak for 2 minutes a day, something like this. Okay, be realistic about what you can do. For me, it's not realistic to watch a movie even 30 minutes. If I was learning, for example, Arabic, I'd honestly dedicate 5 minutes a day. I don't have much more time, but I know that if I do this, like I create a challenge, 30 days this, 30 days that, it'll get better. Okay. Mario Reese, thank you for joining the chat and for sharing with us in a lot of detail. I consider the best way to learn English is creating an English habit. Yep. It could be listening and watching TV series. Yep. Because of English, like other languages, has so many accents that's overwhelming. Yes. Okay. Great. Uh, you've touched base on like listening and watching series, but I agree with you. I consider the best way to learn English is creating an English habit. This is this is it exactly, Mario. I'm giving you different examples of how you can create different habits. For me, it's not watching TV shows because I fall asleep, but that's just me. It's not. In any language, I tried watching Netflix, right? Okay, a TV show, and I'm like, I feel like I'm wasting time. I was even on one of those walking pads, and I'm like, "Oh, I prefer watching YouTube videos about some topic or something." Doesn't mean that's right or wrong. It's just I generally I don't know, maybe I've just uninhabited myself from watching TV and shows. I feel that I could learn something or do something else, or I'd rather call a friend, someone and talk to them. But it's different, I do this in my second language in Croatian, and think about what you like doing when you're creating this habit and do it. Okay, what you like doing in your language. I don't know, Mario. uh, what's your native language? Yeah, and think about your interests, but definitely listening podcasts for me is something I can do, and I do with the Croatian language a lot. And it's really hard. English, when people tell me, what do I listen to, different accents, I'm like, you don't know how blessed you are learning the English language. Everyone uses the English language. There are so many resources in English. When I was starting to learn Croatian, it was really hard to get people to talk just culturally different now. There's so many bloggers, people doing it in Croatian, Serbian, Bosnian, like all. I can understand all these languages. Basically, I'm like, thank you, God. Okay, now I can learn my language, improve my Croatian skills while listening to a podcast while I'm walking, cooking. And for me, this is like, it's just so nice now. But you have so much more available in the English language. And why wouldn't you do this? Yeah. Like for me, podcasts really, really help. And I'm so blessed. Thank you to all those Croatian, Serbian, Slovenian speakers doing this because it really does help me with my Croatian skills. So that works for me. TV shows don't. Okay. I say this because I used to watch TV shows and I feel like I get addicted to TV shows, especially Turkish TV shows dubbed in Croatian or with Croatian subtitles. If you're from Turkey, I need to stay away from your Turkish TV shows because they're very addictive. They're very good. Okay. But yeah. Okay. So this actually takes me to I have just touched base on it, like relevant, connected to your life. So basically, that rant I was on about, make it relevant to you. Okay. So, think about your goal. Why is it that you want to practice 5 minutes? Is it because you want to travel? Do you want to work? Do you want confidence? Do you want relationships? Really keep it motivated to you. You don't need to share your goal with anyone. You don't need to tell me in the chat here. Write it down for you. Write it down, write it down, write it down. Okay. A lot of you, if you don't like writing it down, create a vision board. I don't know if you guys have ever created a vision board, write it down. They do work. Uh, I love vision boards, writing down my goals, but also to-do lists, check them off. It all does work together because it trains your brain to actually do the daily work, to be consistent, and to create this habit that Mario said. Okay, but it does take time. Okay. Also, make it a time-bound deadline. Give yourself a deadline, okay? So I usually say 30 days, but I don't know, try it for 2 weeks. Uh, for me, for example, let me give you some examples. Some people, everybody has different goals, different attention span, different motivation, and that's okay. Okay, if you stop, it shouldn't demotivate you from continuing, but it should be a way for you to improve. Let me give you an example. So I love creating micro habits for myself, small things, 5 minutes a day, to do lists that I tick them off, this and that. Because my motivation is that if I work hard in a shorter amount of time, I can rest more and sleep more. So I really love sleeping, like about 9 to 10 hours a night. Uh, I wouldn't say like I genuinely like I need the rest. It makes me function better. But then in saying that, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. Okay. But with that, um, how do I so I have some habits that I've created over the years, and I'm constantly trying to introduce new ones. Usually I do this at the beginning of the month, and I think of something that I can do that's realistic considering that I work, I have 2 kids, take them here, there, you have life, etcetera. You have medical appointments, life happens, you wanna see friends, family, this, that, blah, blah, blah. You get it. But, one habit that I wanted to try to do, and I'm still working on this, is reading, okay? I used to Sunday can read, it was so good, but, like, even, actually, I can't say that I do read a lot, but I can't say that's really consistent, and I would really like to be more consistent with reading. Now, when I'm saying this is not a problem, I probably read a book a month, but, like, I get a book, and if I like it, I'll read it. If I don't like it, I don't read it, and when I like it, I read it in 2 days. But I like to have this, like, consistent habit of every day getting that book and reading it and finish it. So I'm reading in Croatian, and it's hard for me, but, I do wanna improve my Croatian skills. So I go to the library and I get a book. But, I think this was at the beginning of last month. I tried every day, I'm gonna turn off my mobile notifications, go in bed by, like, 7:45 and try reading, and I gave up. Okay. Like, sorry, I laugh about it, but clearly my motivation wasn't that strong, right? It probably wasn't that realistic for that time in my life, and that's okay. Now I pick up the book, I had this nice image. You probably have this about learning English that you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, blah, blah, blah. Maybe get a teacher. Everyone has this idealistic perception of this. Or and then when you make a mistake, it's just like, "Oh, it didn't meet my expectations." But now, like, I have that book in my lounge room, and when I have some free time, I read it. I'm a little bit more flexible with that, but I'm not that consistent. So I really need to reevaluate this when I want to. So my point with this example is that I was consistent for 7 days, but I think in that time I got sick because someone got sick in their household, and I'd get that book and I'd fall asleep as well. Okay, so clearly I'm tired. I'm not ready for it at that moment. And if maybe you're not motivated because you may be tired, frustrated doing the work, take a little bit of a break and try rethink how you could incorporate this in your life, maybe in a different way. Okay. Like I've tried in the past, audiobooks, not really my thing. I like podcasts, but reading, I have this one book I want to finish, and I'll try read a little bit today, tomorrow. And yeah, I don't know, 3 days of reading a week is I'm happy with that. Think about really these goals, give yourself a deadline, And if you do meet it, great. If you don't, is this really important for me? Okay. Look, SMART goals really work well. I've given you the example. I've given you a failed example of my situation just to help you understand that it is okay to make mistakes, even if you do set a SMART goal. Just reevaluate it a little bit more. Okay. There are other habits that I've created, like daily journaling. This is something that I've kept for about 5 years now. To-do lists. What else? There's a lot I can't think about. But anyway, journaling, that's something that you should all be doing anyway. I really recommend daily journaling. Try it out. Now, SMART goals, they really help you so well because it helps you be clear and focused, okay? It helps you know exactly what you're working towards if you do the work. They help you stay motivated, even when you can't be bothered. Like, for example, I'm in this new fitness program, and some days I can't be bothered, but I'm like, oh, just do it. It's only half an hour. I just gotta do the work. Like, it's my motivation because I get to teach it there, and it does really help me stay, and I can see my progress because I feel better, okay? Uh, these 5 minutes at the end, you should feel happy because if you really do have a goal and you've done the work to define it, you should feel happy that you've done the daily work to get to your long-term goal. That's the point of this. It does help you stay consistent, and it makes the whole process of learning to speak English confidently less stressful, okay? It really does ease 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 the pressure of, speaking confidently, and you create your ability through habits, uh, to be able to do it, okay? You will get there if you do want to, be consistent and disciplined and do the work. Okay, guys, that was a lot today. I need to go drink a glass of water and maybe some coffee. It's very early here. Thank you guys for joining this live session, this training. I really do hope that it helps you. Thank you for your lovely questions here, for your support. There's been a lot of great comments here on the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time. If you do find this useful, please do like this video. Tell me in the comments any suggestions, your problems, staying motivated, speaking English. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.